get this year off to a good start. We got high school football, college football, professional football here at the Sports City Cafe. So we're looking for a great year. We're looking for a lot of wins from our local teams. Of course, we want to see the Saints back in the Super Bowl. And hey, we're going to have plenty of good breakfast, plenty of hot coffee. Jennifer will be here to wait on everybody on Mondays. So let's get off to a good start. And thank y'all for coming by.
You got it. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Breakfast with Champions from Port City Cafe, which we've turned into Sports City Cafe.
Absolutely.
I don't know how much more fun we can possibly have with this. I mean, this is a new adventure for all of us. We're looking forward to coming into your homes every week. Little local sports talk, little national sports talk. Nothing too serious, always tongue-in-cheek, and always a little bit of fun. Jeff, what do you got going on this morning for me? I mean, seriously, we got to have some good stuff to talk about this morning.
Well, we're going to be talking about prep high school or high school football. We're going to be talking about some college football. We're going to be talking football of all kinds today.
So the oblong bowl, nothing round, just oblong only today?
You see what this thing is right here? That's what we're going to discuss.
That one right there. So
that's it.
Talking all the way from high school all the way up to professional level, and we're going to start with high school football.
Well, you know, it's that time of year again, and it's like most people that are diehard football fans like you and myself, it's like a part of us dies until, you know, the fall comes again. So football is here again, and here we're to discuss what's going on with football.
Well, I'm ready for it. I know everybody out there is ready for football season. We've been waiting since, I guess, January, basically.
Absolutely.
It's been a long, long, long summer and winter. As a guy that likes baseball, I can kind of fill in the gaps a little bit, but everybody out there is so diehard football.
It's time to kick the season off again. No pun intended.
No pun intended. Well, the first thing we're going to talk about, guys, is high school football. And that's all getting ramped up as we go along here. And, you know, a lot of local teams are getting their teams together. A lot of changes as you look around the coast and around the area here. And I think one thing we're noticing here on some of the rankings we've seen, that nobody really in the coastal areas expected to do a whole lot in the state. But it's early. How can anybody make that judgment on high school teams this early? It's hard for me to fathom that.
You can't, because with a lot of the season going on, a lot of the things that are coming up, new coaches in place, a lot of the young men are training, getting ready to go, and you just cannot tell until the season gets kicked off.
And as a person that played high school sports, people can make gigantic jumps between seasons. You know, sometimes taking that step between your sophomore and your junior year just makes a huge difference, not only physically but mentally. Learning the game, you know, learning where you're supposed to be, getting more physically fit, the whole 9 yards. It can turn you into a better team like that out of nowhere.
That's right. So we're expected to see some things change. Looking at the top of the Gulf Coast right now, we see Ocean Springs is kind of leading the pack. And they've had a good football program there from year to year. We look at Ocean Springs, you got D'Iberville, you got Gulfport, Biloxi, St. Martin. These guys are in the top of the rankings for the Gulf Coast.
It's a lot of your usual suspects when you look at that. I mean, that's the honest to goodness truth. And the strong programs are going to stick out every year. That's what's going to happen here. But you see some different ones kind of creeping in there a little bit. You know, East Central's going to be a strong team this year.
Yes.
They're going to be a super strong team. Same thing, Picayune's always a good strong team as well.
Yes.
I mean, you look around there, it is what it is. But it's so hard to gauge, like I said, this early in the year, who's going to do what.
One team that I've seen come along over the years that you did not see in the middle or at the front of the pack that I like to see what they're going to do this year is St. Martin.
St. Martin over the last couple of years has really been in play over there. I mean,
yes.
They're giving Ocean Springs and Biloxi a run for their money every year now, and that's becoming a strong program. And that's a growing area, too, so they're able to kind of draw from a little bit, better talent pool as we go along here.
And of course, you see your rivals across the Gulf Coast. You've got the Pascagoula, Moss Point, the Biloxi, Gulfport, and those are always going to bring some great action. And those teams kind of push each other too.
They do, and just like anything else, you're going to see that as we go along. Now, I'm hoping as the year goes along here, during our show here, we're going to have a whole lot more high school content. We're going to have some of the coaches come by and see us, hopefully some players every now and again. It ought to be a fun time for us to really get involved in high school football on the coast, because it's a strong group of talent down here. There's a lot of players from the area that have made it to, play D1 college ball, and there's still some that are playing in the league as well.
Yes.
It's amazing. You see the amount of talent down here, and I think it's kind of it's a diamond in the rough. I was trying to find the right term for it here. That coastal high school football is a big deal, and the JUCO football here is great as well.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of JUCO football down here.
Yeah, Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College has produced quite a few pro players, and so there's someone they're always in the hunt, and it's always someone to keep an eye on.
I'll tell you, my favorite always was Mount Cody, but that's just I'll never forget that guy. But we'll get more and more into that as the year goes along. But coming up next, we're going to talk about some college football. So we'll be right back here very shortly from Port City Cafe on Breakfast with Champions.
This is Vic Dehan coming to you from the Champion Certified Pre-Owned headquarters. Watching them unload the pre-owned vehicles, and this is the reason why you want to buy at Champion. Price? You come to Champion. Selection? You come to Champion. Affordability? You come to Champion. Certified Pre-Owned? 100,000-mile warranty and 125-point thorough inspection. Your Certified Pre-Owned headquarters, championvalues.com.
Welcome to Hard Rock Biloxi. Let us take care of you.
This August, we've gone cash, credit, and cars crazy at Hard Rock. Win your share of up to $100K in extra credit on Saturday, August 31st in our $100K hot seat. Or earn entries all month long, and one lucky winner will drive away in a 2019 Mercedes-Benz Labor Day weekend.
You walk in, everybody knows who you are. They shake your hand. I get hugs all the time. I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Absolutely.
This August, let us welcome you to the Hard Rock, Biloxi's favorite casino.
This town is on the move, and we're moving forward with you, meeting your ever-growing communication needs with ever faster connections. Now we're taking our commitment to you one step further. Cable One Business is becoming Sparklight Business, connecting people to one another, connecting your business to the world, connecting what's now to what's next. Sparklight Business. Go anywhere from here.
Hi, good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast with Champions. Ernest, you just said to heck with it. You're just going to sit down with us. To heck with the coffee stuff. Let's have you in here because you got a great football mind.
Absolutely. We're here to talk sports, so let's get into it. We're going to preview this season and talk about who's going to do what, and make it a good show. Absolutely.
Well, that's what we're looking to do, and we're going to talk a little bit of college football now. And I guess the elephant in the room is, do we repeat what we've done in the last several years in the college football playoff? The polls look the same. Is it getting stale, or is it you're just challenging everyone to get better? Top two teams are the same. It's Alabama and Clemson. Then it's Georgia right below them, and then there's a lot of question marks beyond that. Do either of you guys see anybody else right now in the college football playoff finals besides Alabama and Clemson?
No.
I'm looking at, I think LSU has a strong case to come back this year.
I'm still waiting on Joe Burrow to impress me. I know he had a great game against UCF. I get that. UCF is a good football team, but also remember UCF was without their starting quarterback. UCF, a little bit iffy on defense, let's be frankly honest here. So let's let him get into the meat of the SEC season this year and then decide, is he really going to be involved in the conversation? Georgia is always the team that's lurking there, it seems to me. Kirby Smart's building a program over there in Georgia. Do we see two teams from the SEC once again in the college football playoff?
I think it's possible this year, especially. I think one of the things that might need to change is going to, if you don't win your conference, you shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Well, that's all well and good when you think of it this way, but let's be honest. Is that always the best four teams in college football when that happens? Let's go back to when Alabama and Georgia were both in there. Were Alabama and Georgia the two best teams in college football that year?
I would say so.
Well, then there you go. That kind of takes that argument and goes, no. I mean, it's got to be the best 4 teams. And really, until they get serious about expansion, it really needs to be 8 teams. I'm on that bandwagon to have a shot at really doing this here. Your Power 5 gets an automatic bid, and you got 3 others that end up in there. Rank them 1 through 8, let them play it on the field. But then the argument is, do we have to go to 12? Then we have to go to 16? No, I think 8's the number eventually to get a real feel of what college football could be in a playoff system.
You're always going to have the argument whenever you have the football empires, and that's just the way that it works out. Now we went to the playoff system, which everybody complained and wanted to have, and now that we're there, now you're still not happy because you still have the strong teams coming up and taking over, and it ends up being some of the same teams. I don't know if there's any way to fix that unless you start to, break up divisions and cause more of, in other words, build a better strength of schedule for each of the teams competing.
Ernest, who do you think is the most overrated team in college football right now?
Oh, right now it's clearly Florida. Clearly Florida. Mullins took over the program. Defensively, they got a good defense. Felipe Franks, he was inconsistent last year. He finished the year strong. This year coming up, I don't see Florida being ranked number 8. That particular team right there is kind of questionable.
And I'm with you. I don't think they have enough offense to really turn it up, to be honest with you. Great defense. Like you said, great defense. A lot of NFL caliber players on that defense. But, I mean, if you can't score, you're not going to do a whole lot, especially in college football today. Defense does win championships, but you got to be able to put points on the board consistently. There's so many teams that'll just run up the score on you and wear that defense down, to be frankly honest with you.
Yeah.
But what about you? You got any ideas on who may be overrated?
I don't know. Maybe Ohio State.
A lot of question marks there with Justin Fields leaving Georgia, jumping ship, and going to Ohio State. I know he was an interim last year. I know he was, but now the job is firmly in his hands, and let's see what happens here. Interesting opening game for those guys, too. Very interesting opening game with Lane Kiffin coming to town.
Yes.
That's going to be because Ohio State's bugaboo last year was their defense. We know Lane Kiffin likes to score points. They might keep that game a little bit closer than everybody thinks it's going to be. I think Ohio State's a 3.5 touchdown favorite, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I think that game's a little bit closer than everybody thinks.
I agree.
Anybody got a sleeper team? I got a great sleeper team this year. Anybody got one that you're thinking of that could sneak into the top 4?
The team that I'm looking at is Michigan. Harbaugh has got to produce this year. He's making a tremendous amount of money. He's got to knock off Ohio State. I think this is make or break year right here.
As an aside, do you think that if he does not beat Ohio State this year, regardless, he could go 11-1 and lose to Ohio State? Do you think he keeps his job?
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be real tough.
It's like LSU, Alabama. You can go 11-1, you lose to Alabama, and hey, your job's on the line.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's the same thing. So, I'd say Michigan clearly is a team that's going to have to step it up.
Well, we have seen with Alabama that you can still lose. Michigan could lose to Ohio State and still go and clean the table or run the table and end up in the national championship and win it.
Who's your sleeper?
My sleeper, I would like to see Missouri with Kelly Bryant being, from Clemson going to Missouri, and I want to see what he does. They started to have, every now and then you see something happen with Missouri. This could be the year that things change.
Yeah, but you don't think Missouri can make the Final Four here? That's what I'm talking about. Who's your sleeper?
They could surprise you.
Boy, that's a gauntlet that they have to run to get in there.
Well, when you talk about a sleeper team, it's somebody that nobody expects.
Boy, that's
so that would be somebody that nobody expects.
So that's Missouri winning the East, then winning the SEC championship game. That's where you're going with this.
Hey, it could happen.
That's a sleeper.
One quick thought. I got a great one this year. It's late night for most people when these guys play. Utah, I believe, maybe a sleeper in the Pac-12 and has a chance to slip into that top 4. Reason being is, who else from the Pac-12 is going to have any shot at doing anything? I mean, they're kind of this year, but Utah is going to be tough. I think their toughest game of the year is opening with BYU. I mean, the Holy War. It is what it is. That's just a monster game every year. And Utah's a slight favorite on the road. Real quick, Heisman Trophy thought. Is it between Jalen? Is he in the conversation? Is Jalen in there at all, or is it still our top two guys? Is it Tua and everybody else, or any thoughts on that?
I think we're looking at a race between Tua and Trevor.
I think it is.
Unless injuries come into play or something that's unexpected, I don't see either of those two going back any.
I don't either. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts is an interesting fit at Oklahoma. Does he fit their offensive scheme?
That's an interesting question. Would you like to field that one?
I don't think he fits their offense. I mean, coming from the SEC, going to that style of offense is night and day. I mean, you're in the run and shoot over in Oklahoma, so Alabama's a ball control type offense. So I don't see him in the Heisman Trophy picture at all.
I think the biggest knock on him in Alabama was his decision making, and can he make those quick decisions at Oklahoma? That's up to the season coming up. We'll all see what happens, guys. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Come on back real soon. It's Breakfast with Champions.
Welcome to Hard Rock Biloxi. Let us take care of you.
This August, we've gone cash, credit, and cars crazy at Hard Rock. Win your share of up to $100K in extra credit on Saturday, August 31st in our $100K hot seat. Or earn entries all month long, and one lucky winner will drive away in a 2019 Mercedes-Benz Labor Day weekend.
You walk in, everybody knows who you are. They shake your hand. I get hugs all the time. I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Absolutely.
This August, let us welcome you to the Hard Rock, Biloxi's favorite casino.
Attention music lovers and festival goers. Book a 3-day weekend at the Gulf Coast Historic Centennial Plaza in Gulfport, and you'll be staying in the heart of chillin' on the Gulf Coast. A 3-day music, food, and arts and crafts festival, September 20th through the 22nd. You'll love the beautifully renovated hotel, the water park with a lazy river and swim-up bars, the amazing selection of food and arts and kids activities, and over a dozen concerts each day for every music taste. JJ Gray and Mofro. North Mississippi All-Stars. Samantha Fish. Cowboy Mouth, and the Molly Ringwalds, to name a few. Vendor spots are still available. Special room rates and concert tickets are only available by calling 800-813-6884. Visit chillinonthegulfcoast.com and eventbrite.com for a full concert lineup.
Welcome back to Sports City Cafe in beautiful Biloxi, Mississippi. Still talking sports here. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. You want to know why?
Why is that?
We're going to switch gears just a little bit. We're going to talk a little sports betting and NFL football with Russell Shank from the Hard Rock. I'm going to literally hand this off to him. Can he get it? Oh, there he goes. He's got it. Guys, y'all have fun.
Russell, you look like you've played a little bit.
Yeah, I did. I played in high school.
Did you really?
And then I played rugby after high school and college, and I'm going to hang on to this thing. Bring back some memories.
Well, with sports betting being opened up in Mississippi now, you have a very important role here. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. I'm the director of Sportsbook at the Hard Rock Casino Biloxi right here on the Gulf Coast. And you know, it's so unique with the Gulf Coast folks love their sports. When Sportsbook got passed, Mississippi was one of the very first states to bring it on board. And we're excited. We got a beautiful sports book here at the Hard Rock, and invite everybody to come on down and make some bets.
Well, for many on the Gulf Coast, because this has not been open to us, somebody who would like to get in on the action but is not sure what to do, why don't you kind of lead us through what should happen?
Absolutely. You know, when you come into a sports book like ours at the Hard Rock Casino, you'll see boards up on the wall. And folks come in and they don't understand what they're looking at or how to read it or how to make a wager. So what I can do is kind of go through that with you. You're going to have 3 lines, basically. You have what's known as a money line, a point line, and a total line. Okay, and these are 3 different ways that you can bet on your favorite team. And what it is we have traders, guys out there that are actually looking at the different games, and they'll make a team the favorite and a team an underdog. And what they try to do is balance it out to where it's a 50-50 type wager. So on the money line, if you look up there, you'll see a minus, say, 250. Anytime you see a minus on there, you have to bet that amount of money to win $100. So if the Saints play and they're a favorite, and it says minus 200, I've got to bet $200 to win $100.
I see.
And then on the underdog side on a money line, if it has a plus in front of the number, let's say the team the Saints are playing are plus 200. That means for every $100 I bet, I win whatever that plus says. So if a team is plus 400, I bet $100, and if that underdog team wins, I win 400 and get my $100 back. So that's the money line side of it. On a money line, you're just betting which team you think's going to win. There's no points. There's nothing like that. It's just which team you think's going to win. And the way they level it out is you got to bet more to win less on the team that's the favorite, or you can bet less and win more on the team that's the underdog. And that's the money line. The next line is the point line. This is the way they even it out, is they give a team or take away a team's points on the final tally. So we'll stay with the Saints. Let's say the Saints are minus 10 points going into their first game this year. That means the score actually starts out with the Saints losing by 10. So by the end of the score, if the Saints didn't win by more than 10 points, you lose your bet. And again, it goes on the other side. If I bet the underdog team, I'm starting with a 10-point lead. So on the point line, I'm getting points or giving up points to that final score.
So these points that you're talking about, it's more about the concept of evening out the money that goes to each team.
Exactly.
Like if I bet the Saints, or say the Rams and the Saints last year, and you bet on the Rams, then if you have more people betting on the Rams, then the points may change to even out where the money goes. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. That is on, especially the point line. You'll see that line move by a half a point, depending on where the money's at. That's where you have, they're called traders. They sit around in a little room and they've got all their monitors up and they're looking at everything and they're trying to do the best to keep that an even betting field, meaning you have a certain amount of money on this team and a same amount there. So when it gets skewed, they change the line. So here's a perfect example. We're in Saints country. Where is everybody going to bet? On the Saints. So if you don't bet early, you can bet the closer you get to the game, the worse the line's going to be for you because the money is going to be on them. Now your third line is known as the total line. And it'll say, you'll see it, it's called an over and under. And it's going to be the total score. You take a game and you add up, after the game is over, the two scores. Like the other night, you had Florida and Miami. It was 24-20. So the total line was 44. I think the betting line was over or under 45. So for you to bet to win, you would have had to bet the under. Okay? You add the two together and you're betting either if you think the score is going to go over or under. And that's the way.
Well, Russell, we're about to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be discussing your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints, and we're going to discuss some of the things that are coming up and how these things may affect the sports betting scene.
This is Vic Dehan coming to you from the Champion Certified Pre-Owned Headquarters. Watching them unload the pre-owned vehicles, and this is the reason why you want to buy at Champion. Price? You come to Champion. Selection? You come to Champion. Affordability? You come to Champion. Certified pre-owned, 100,000-mile warranty, and 125-point thorough inspection. Your certified pre-owned headquarters, championvalues.com.
Welcome to Hard Rock Biloxi. Let us take care of you.
This August, we've gone cash, credit, and cars crazy at Hard Rock. Win your share of up to $100K in extra credit on Saturday, August 31st in our $100K hot seat. Or earn entries all month long, and one lucky winner will drive away in a 2019 Mercedes-Benz Labor Day weekend.
You walk in, everybody knows who you are. They shake your hand. I get hugs all the time. I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Absolutely. This August, let us welcome you to the Hard Rock, Biloxi's favorite casino.
Yeah, we're still here with Russell from the Hard Rock Casino, and we're going to talk some sports, some NFL, the upcoming season, and talk about the Saints and the sleeper teams we think might be able to go to the playoffs and be a surprise team this year. So, Russell?
so excited we're back in football season. This is my favorite time of year. Saints open up on a Monday night. You got to love that. And I think they're gonna be out for revenge for not making the Super Bowl last year. They should have been there.
I can agree with that. One of the things that we saw, talking about the power rankings in the NFL, the Saints were like the number 3 team. You had the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Rams in that, but also was in there was the Colts. And now with the news that Andrew Luck has retired and Jacoby Brissett is now the starter of that, that's going to kind of shake up that power ranking, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah. I think definitely. If you look at that division with the Colts, who's the team that could possibly win it now? Possibly Jacksonville. You know, I mean, outside of those 2 teams, I mean that division is really weak. So.
And on the sportsbook side, you saw the lines really change. You know, the Colts were around 25-1 to win the Super Bowl this year, and it dropped to 50-1 immediately after he announced.
And if you're a Saints fan, that was kind of, you know, the Super Bowl being back in Miami this year and the chance for a Saints-Colts rematch.
10-year anniversary.
In 10 years.
Back in Miami.
Everything seemed to be lining up, and now, poof, it seems like it could still happen.
Yep.
But like you said, the odds have changed now.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's some good sleepers out there, too. I tell you, I'm a Green Bay fan, so I hate to say this, but Chicago, that defense, with Khalil Mack and them, they're going to be lights out this year. I really believe that.
They're scary good on defense.
Yep.
And Mitch Trubisky, he's getting more comfortable in the role, leading the team on the offense, and we could see some good things come out of him. I'm kind of one of the teams I'm concerned about is Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Yes.
With the new coach being there, what's going to happen with them? They seem to be the power team in that in that division, and they've kind of fallen off.
As Aaron Rodgers goes, so goes the Green Bay Packers. The last 2 years, the injury bug has been there, whether it be his foot or when he broke his collarbone. It's honestly, it's a make or break. If Aaron Rodgers has a good year, they'll be there. But as he goes, so do the Packers. And he's getting older, and he's been getting injured a lot. So they're going to have to protect him this year. They did not make any real significant moves. I feel like they're going to be better on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive side, we don't really, other than Adams, we don't have that really great wide receiver backfield, and I think Aaron Jones is another one that the injury bug always seems to find him. So Green Bay is one of those teams that could possibly bust.
Now, wanting to shift our focus back to the Saints as we're wrapping up here, with talking about Aaron Rodgers and age, people have been concerned about Drew Brees and his age, but what we have seen with him in his only preseason entry, he didn't look like an old man to me.
No, I tell you, I think Drew Brees is absolutely going to make another run for a Super Bowl. He looked great in that one series that he drove the other night, and I think the Saints are going to be the team to beat. I really think they're going to make a serious run for the Super Bowl.
Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis have done a good job at getting him some protection on the line, getting him some weapons around him, offensive weapons. You have any thoughts on that before we head out?
Oh, I think with Kamara and Breeze and look, hey, it's been a great show, and I appreciate everybody coming by and everything. And we look forward to continue to do this every week throughout the season. And maybe we can get Russell back because we love talking sports with Hard Rock Casino over there.
Come down and see me.
Yeah. Yes. Good job.